Alright guys, it's Jahlon from the Paradox Gaming Network, and I have to start with, I am sorry. I should have done this video last week, but I was selfish. I've been waiting for Kingdom Under Fire for about 11 years. They announced it in 2008, they went into beta in 2011, they had some issues, and the game finally released to the Western audience last week. I kinda binged on it. I went to max level in 4 days. And I would have done it faster, but I did my stream, and then I had to be a parent a couple of those days. So yeah, I'm max level in Kingdom Under Fire 2, and I'm having a great time. The game originally was bought to be my side game when I didn't have other things going on in MMOs. And it's so good, it is really becoming my primary go-to game for the hours that I have where I'm not making content. So shh, don't tell Tamir, or she's going to get mad that I'm neglecting Final Fantasy. Big thing, first thing you're going to understand, as I said back in 2008, is when the game started being developed. And a lot of times when we have games that take over a decade to get done, we start to worry about the engine. What sort of performance are we going to get in 2019 for a game that started development in 2008? Let me tell you, they are running on the Bluehold 3 engine, which is their engine that allows them to display up to 60,000 enemies on the screen at one time, 60,000 units at one time. I have not been in a fight that shows that many units, but I will say I have had no lag, no latency, no frame drops, no freezes. I will admit there's been a couple of server drops, a couple of server disconnects. The game hasn't been out for a week yet, so those first week stutters, those are understandable. Now, I know the next question you're going to say is, what type of game is this, and why haven't I heard about it if it's the new up-and-coming MMORPG? I need you to stop, because although it has MMORPG elements, it is not an MMORPG. It is an MMORPG plus/RTS troop management game. Now, if you know BDO, then you know action combat MMORPGs, and there are a lot of action combat MMORPG elements in Kingdom Under Fire 2. You're out in the open world, you're doing quests for quest givers, you're running around, killing the stuff they want. You're doing instances, which dungeons, either by yourself or with friends, where it's just you and the three of them, and that gives it the MMORPG feel. However, it also has a Dynasty Warriors feel, where you are on a map, and it's you, and you're managing troops. You're managing minions, you're managing, units. I know some people don't like having to do that. You can use the automated commands ZX and C, where they will attack, defend, or support you. Or you can hit tab and you can really open up and you can start doing very specific things with your units, and then hit tab again and go back to doing the action fighting yourself. Finally, there is a mode that is very similar to Rome Total War, where all you're doing is commanding units. You actually aren't on the field, nor can you join it. This is what Kingdom Under Fire calls subjugations, and it is an interesting way to get the things you need, and it adds a little bit of flavor. So really, the only visual I can give for what type of game Kingdom Under Fire 2 is, it's like if BDO and Dynasty Warriors had a kid, and then that kid married the child of Rome Total War. That third generation kid, that would be Kingdom Under Fire 2. Now, if that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know what would. But like I said, to be fair to my community, my audience, if you're looking for a pure MMORPG, this isn't it. This really does play more like a console game with a friends lobby. They have a very good party matchmaking system. The community is always bouncing around, finding people to do stuff with. There are guilds. There is guild PvP. Those are all things that we can talk about if you're interested. Now, I do want to say the game is addicting. Like I said, I binged it in 4 days. I should have done this video. I was selfish. I didn't want to. But it's not addicting with stupidity like RNG boxes. And we all know what I'm talking about for Asian import games. Usually it's stuff you need only comes out of RNG boxes. So you end up needing it. You spend a little money. You swipe. You don't get what you need. You swipe a little more. You buy some more boxes. And pretty soon you're like $300 into a free-to-play game. That's not Kingdom Under Fire. There is a cash shop. However, for the Western audience, they have dialed down the cash shop to just cosmetics. The diamond system's in place, and you get cosmetics for it. Now, you will notice that in that same menu is a Cubics market. Now, this is where a little bit of controversy comes in. Cubics cannot be bought with cash. However, if you buy one of the Founders Packs for the game, you do get a healthy supply of Cubics to start. But I will tell you, everything in the game, you're constantly earning Cubics. I haven't run out yet. So if that lets you know, I am max level. I have several max level minions, troops, units, mercenaries, and I still have a healthy supply of Cubics. So with that said, the other part is that the game is addicting, and not in a way that makes you want to gouge your eyes out for having to do dailies. Yes, there are dailies, but the rewards from them are really kind of small. They're really just a guide or a suggestion for stuff to do. And a lot of that has to do with doing stuff that other players are going to need. So it's kind of like a help along mechanic for the other players that rewards you for doing it. So I really did enjoy that. And there is a daily login calendar, and I liked one aspect of this. I forgot to click my daily attendance one day, and you know how it is in those games. Usually there's 30 days in the month, and if you miss one, you're going to miss a big reward. You can actually use those Cubics to buy back a day you missed, so I was like, okay, good thing, let me make sure to annotate that. I want to talk about the other concerns. I did talk about that little pay to ... advantage. I don't want to call it pay to win, because it's pay to win, but it's not egregious pay to win where you can swipe. I think the Founders Packs could have been thought through a little bit better, and I don't make excuses for companies. I want to stay positive, I want to stay hyped, but I do acknowledge that the higher dollar amount Founders Packs do give you a clear advantage. The only good redeeming saving grace to that is you can't continue to swipe to continue to get more powerful. I do also want to talk about the 5 classes. There are 2 ranged, 2 melee, and 1 magic. Now, a lot of purists are going to have a major problem. There's 2 different types of locking here. There's race locking and there's class locking. So it takes away a lot of the immersion. And what I mean by that is, when you take a berserker, you are a male, you are this race. You don't get to pick from a pool of races and then get to pick a gender. You are literally playing a hero. So it is very console-like, very Dynasty Warriors-like in that regard, where you're playing a hero versus building a character. However, there's a ton of character customization for you to make the character look like how you want. So I don't want to shove people away, because there's little nuances about the game that you're going to have to get over. Just break the mold that this isn't a traditional MMORPG. With that said, the other complaint you're going to hear people say that are through the first week, they're going to say the game is a grind. Of course the game is a grind. Every MMO, every online game is a grind of one way, shape, form, or the other. But let me tell you, the game hasn't felt like a grind yet. I'm going on day 7 now, and I'm not feeling like I have to log into the game. I'm actually looking at the recorder time on my OBS saying, okay, the video is long enough. You can go ahead and end it and jump in. With that said, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to end the video here. If you guys have any questions about Kingdom Under Fire, let me know if you want to talk about it. If you want me to stream it a little bit, I will definitely be more than happy to jump on stream and talk. In fact, I may stream it for the first part of my show on Friday, or I may add an extra hour. I do want to say I am not going to be making guides and stuff unless people specifically say, hey, I have a question, how do you do? I might do 1 or 2 passing familiarity, just golly gee whiz tips and tricks, but I'm definitely going to do those after I've had more fun playing, because again, I'm going to go be selfish, because between that and doing what I'm doing with the Arcade 101 and the Ashes 101, trying to teach myself HTML, Kingdom Under Fire is now my fun hobby game. With that, you guys take care, and I will see you next time. What are you still doing here? Nobody ever stays this long. This is the end screen. Well, since you're here, there's a couple other videos I think you should check out. And all those names? Those are my patrons over at Patreon. I couldn't do this without them. So, Big thanks to them for all their support.